You break every box in the Lost City. Bonus rounds don't count in the original Crash one, and honestly I kind of like that about it, because a lot of them were clearly not meant to be finished as like completion levels. But yeah, you get the green gem in the Lost City because it skips all of Castle Machinery. Okay. holders still run this game? Well, considering that he set record a couple weeks ago, yes. Yeah, I don't know if he said it right before or right after New Year's, but it was very recent. Yeah, it is cool that all the OG games still get run. NST is the most active Crash game across like all 3 games of it. What the fuck? But like the original games are pretty active. The only OG game that's kind of dormant right now is Crash 3, but Crash 3 always like goes in and out of activity. Crash 1 always stays pretty active though, if anything, because Tet runs it. And Ted at most takes a break for like a few weeks, but like he never fully puts it down ever. 4. Yeah, no, there's a lot of optimization you can do with movement. I've put very, very little time into Crash 1, especially any percent. I've got a fairly decent time in 100% for somebody who doesn't actively run the game. But then even then, I'm still 13 minutes slower than Tet. So. OGCTR is run by a lot of people, especially, most notably Hypnoshark. That's like the only thing he runs. I think recently he's been playing other games, but like... That's like all Hypno lives and breathes is CTR. Most Crash games have somebody on them. Like, even like Wrath of Cortex has runners, Twin Sanity has runners. Even like Titans and Mind Over Mutant C runs. Mind Over Mutant especially has just had a shit ton of activity in the past few months. Mom needs me. Mom needs you! Come downstairs now! I don't know. I would like to run Mom eventually. Just not right now. I haven't had really good RNG at the end of that level today. Remember that incredibly soon. Mars needs... Oh my god. Mars needs Mind Over Mutants. Crash Bash would be dormant if it weren't for 2 things. One, the fact that it has meme status as it's just like a very horrendously brutal game, so it's kind of just funny for some people to run. And 2, Pi. It's cray-cray. I mean, you have to be to play Bash to 100% as much as he does. Some I entertained the idea of learning Croc too, and then I remember just how long so many of those endgame levels are, and I'm just like, ugh. I just think of the fact that that one level in the Inca village in Croc 2 where you have to rescue all the babies. That level is so long that I'm pretty sure Thermo has 5 splits for it, or it's like 6 splits or something. It's like babies A, babies B, babies C, babies D, babies E, and babies F, and I'm just like, what the fuck? No wonder there's only 2 levels in that fucking hub. And then, like, even after that, the end game, like, after the Inca village, when you're actually starting the final boss, like, that's just like 30 minutes long. I mean, yeah, it is boring as fuck. I don't know. Nostalgia is the only thing that keeps me enjoying Croc 2, because, like, the one time I played it recently, I was like, you know, this game's kind of bad. Or at least not that great. Then again, I was playing the PS1 version. I don't know how it is on PC. It might be infinitely better on PC. To control. I know speedrun-wise it is infinitely better on PC. What the fuck is wrong with this game? Fucking sucks on all platforms. Nice. I feel like a lot of people prefer Croc 1, and I probably would prefer Croc 1 if I had actually played it when I was younger, but I didn't have it. Croc 3 is going to be infinitely worse. Well, maybe it's a good thing it got canceled. I didn't even know that they had planned on making a Croc 3. Yo, what's up, Lizzie? Yeah, Crash 1 because NST sucks and I don't want to play it, and I'm honestly probably going to take it out of all platformers. Final boss thing in Crash Bash. It looks awful. What, the Oxide ride? I'm surprised the Croc GBC games are good. Yeah, I mean, NST's just redundant, is he? Like, even if they're mechanically different, like, it is just Crash 1 through 3 again. And I'm also, like, I'm just so completely over NST. Like, I don't even want to play it anymore. I'm more likely to play Crash 3 OG than I am to play NST at this point, which is sad. Except not really, because I still want to do 105, so... Player. Oh, the Game Boy player. Yo, Frederick. Was it like the disc or the actual like peripheral that broke? Because if it was the disc, thankfully you don't need that anymore. What have I got? I'll work with that. Just when you just set up your CRT at your house. I'm honestly really glad I have a retro tank because then I just don't even have to worry about CRTs. Yo, this cycle fucking sucks dick. How bad is the delay on those? Non-existent, honestly. Like, I feel no delay whatsoever. The funny thing is that transitioning from twins to this, the reaction time actually probably got better. Because whatever cheapo like signal converter I was using for like PAL PS2 on my CRT probably had some form of delay, and then switching from the retro shrink, it just felt smoother. Granted, I don't play on PAL PS2 anymore, but I could have made that. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. What do Aku be saying when you take damage from them? Ah, fuck! That's totally what it sounds like. Where are you fucking... Okay, I guess I'm not gonna do that again. I like how I got the skip and then I just went too far to the left and just touched the fire. Classic. Fuck. What was the big time save from? Lost City. My PB dies in that level, so I lose a minute. I don't know why I kept that run, but I did. Alright, CS no pixels. What was that noise? Yeah, it's a pretty cool strat. Makes this level a lot less annoying. I think Crash 1 any percent is a really cool run. It is one of the few any percent Crash runs that I actually think is really cool. It's like this, Entranced, and like this, Entranced, Crash 3 NST, and Crash 4 are like the only any percents I really like. Yeah, no, I really like Crash 1 any percent for OG. Aside from when I run it, then it's just frustrating as fuck, but as a concept, the run is really cool. There's also a game over abuse strat in here, but it's only worth it if you're like top level. So for some reason, so the way saving and game overing works in this game is that if you game over, it takes you back to the last level of your save file. But the only way this game detects that you finished a level is if you finish the Tana bonus round. So if I were to game over, I would actually go all the way back to Insanity Beach. Alright, see you, Nelly. Thanks for the good luck. Or good rest of stream, same thing. Do I run Forbidden Memories too? Nah. I like Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't run Forbidden Memories. I actually don't really like Forbidden Memories as a game. The game is distinctly okay. I do really like Duels of the Roses though, and I would not be against learning that at some point. But So normally, when you game over, it'll take you back to the level of like the Tana bonus round that you just beat. But for some reason, if you game over in Sunset Vista after doing the Tana bonus round there, it takes you to Koala Kong. So the strat is to enter Sunset Vista with no lives, get the Tana bonus tokens, do the Tana bonus round, game over, and then spawn at Koala Kong. CBNK 3D win? No. Is Droplets actually seeing play right now? I was under the impression that like hand traps were just better because lol VFD. Crash fighting Abby. Oh my god. Because of Vanity's luck. I mean, I still feel like you'd be better off stopping Drytron from getting to that point. Like, yeah, you drop the Vanity's ruler, and then you have to deal with Herald of the Orange Light, and another Herald of the Orange Light, and more Heralds of the Orange Light. And then if you don't kill them, you just have to deal with Drytron at that point. And then against Virtual World, like, it stops VFD, but then you have to deal with their trap card. You miss Vanity's Emptiness? What the fuck is wrong with you? I got duped. What the fuck would you miss Vanity's Emptiness for? I don't know how that card's still legal in the OCG. Actually boggles my mind. It also boggles my mind how I got stuck there. I mean, yeah, but if you let them get all the way to the Vanity's ruler, like, even if you negate the Vanity's ruler, you have to deal with at least 2 Herald of the Orange Light. And whatever the fuck else they do. Like, stopping the Vanity's ruler after letting them get to it just doesn't seem good enough. And yeah, most hand traps are pretty average against Drytron, which is why you gotta play stuff like Droll and Lockbird, which is a pretty big blowout against them. Basically, you gotta play Droll and then just pray you get multiples of the rest of them, which is kind of just standard fare, really. Like, I still think you're better off stopping them from getting to that point than letting them get to that point and then praying that drop it will be enough. You missed number 6. What the fuck is wrong with you, Venom? Like, why the fuck would you miss Shockmaster? When are we getting Yu-Gi-Oh content on the channel? I don't know. When people actually use Edo Pro and it doesn't take me 10 minutes to find a match. I mean, Drytron definitely seems like the best deck right now. Number 16 Shockmaster is a rank 4 Xyz monster with 2300 attack. It has the effect to detach a material from it, and then declare monster spell and trap, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, neither player can activate effects of that card type. Yo, Supersphere, how did the last Crash 3 run go? I finished it. But I'm probably going to take NST out of all platformers because it just feels redundant. VFD, but like infinitely easier. I will be legitimately shocked if VFD survives the next list. Then again, I am also legitimately shocked that Alpi is still alive. The car's just asking to be broken again. Yo, I remember Ghost Tricks. Ghost Tricks were fucking funny. Obnoxious as fuck to fight against, but funny. Oh my god, what the hell was that, controller? I was holding straight. Fuck off. It's because Linkross was really important to Dragon Link. Like, it really was. It wasn't even just Linkross, it was like Linkross, Dragon Buster. Like, both of those combined were like huge losses for that deck. But Linkross absolutely had to go. That card had no business being a thing. It is really funny how, like, that one card disappearing just made the game infinitely better. I don't think MX Saber Invoker is getting unbanned anytime soon. I like the card, but it's a bit too good at what it does. Like, it's too risky to bring that card back, considering how strong level 4 Earth Warriors and or Beast Warriors tend to be. I do remember Cyberstein. I mean, it's not even just Zodiac. Zodiac, Goki. Yeah, Dragon Link is just like... Island 3, dude. Like, fuck off. I don't know why I went for those. Miscellaneous Source should not be a 3. Isn't like the only reason Dino is like not doing as well right now just because just its matchup spread just isn't good at the moment? It's still 46, like whatever. I'm a little shocked that Infernoble Knight just completely vanished, but at the same time, like... Beatrice could probably go to 3, honestly. Burning Abyss is not going to do anything. What's up, Demon Killer? Yeah, like... I honestly don't mind what Dinosaur does if I can interact with it. And Miss doesn't let you interact with it. That's my biggest issue with it. I don't want to deal with Fusion Dantes. I mean... A smart player would never let Beatrice summon Fusion Dante. At least not with a way to deal with it. Not without a way to deal with it. I mean, Archosaur helped, but like, I think Archosaur is a fine card for the deck. Like, I have no problem with Dinosaur being able to compete. I have a problem with Dinosaur shutting off interaction, which it does through VFD and MISC. And we all know we know VFD needs to go because that card has just always been stupid. It's the level that no one can beat in the remake. Yeah, it's because bounce physics fucking sucked dick in the remake. The level's really good here. It's just zigzagging makes it a lot easier. It's gonna be a fucking prophecy if the run dies here, because the past like 3 runs that I've gotten to Slippery Climb have all died in Slippery Climb. Pill shape. It's not. That's not what's wrong with NST. I am tired of hearing that. Like, really, and I'm not targeting this to you specifically, Doolin, but like, I hear that shit so much, and it's not even the actual problem with NST. The problem with NST is that every time you bounce off of something, for some godforsaken reason, they decided that it would cut your speed in literally half. That is why High Road is such a problem in NST. It has nothing to do with pill-shaped hitboxes. It has to do with the way that you're supposed to do that level just makes you move slow as molasses. Like, pill-shaped hitboxes are honestly like the least like consequential shit in that game. They only matter when you are so unbelievably precise with your jump that like you could potentially fall off. And the only time that's ever actually an issue is when you have to bounce off of something, because bouncing is really, really slow and gives you like no distance. And I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I didn't death abuse, whatever. I'll just take the time loss. Fuck it. Break crates on the way, I guess. Whoever insinuated this whole pill-shaped hitbox thing, I really, really am upset with them, because I've heard that shit for years and it's not even the actual problem. No, there's no skip in this version. God, Venom, you are giving me a fucking brain aneurysm. If there's any card I never ever want to see ever again, it's Maxx C. Well, 46 is probably dead. Norden should also not be back either, but especially not Maxx C. Never, ever, ever in my life ever again do I want to see Maxx C. Maxx C is actually like one of the most broken cards to ever be printed. Like, straight up. Have I beat Lights Out without Aku? No. Yo, Max. Okay, so Maxx C is actually a card that on release was reasonably fair. Like, it was actually, at the time of its release, it was actually not a broken card. What Maxx C does, it is a card that is known in the competitive community as a hand trap, which is basically, it is a monster, but it has an effect that is a defensive effect similar to a trap card that you activate by discarding it from your hand. And what Maxx C does is that you can discard it from your hand, and for the rest of the turn, every time your opponent special summons a monster, you draw 1 card. So, at the time of its release, generally what would happen is that you would try to special summon and your opponent would activate Maxx, and you would stop because you don't want to give your opponent a bunch of cards, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! Card advantage is literally how you win. The problem is that as time went on and as more power creep happened, the game sped up to the point where stopping was not a viable option. Because if you stopped, then you ran the risk of your opponent very likely just blowing you out because you have no defense. So as the momentum of a single turn became more and more important, the card became more and more powerful. So it went from becoming either feed your opponent a million cards and die, or stop so you have a chance to play on the next turn. It became feed your opponent a million cards and die, or stop and die. So now it's just a case of Maxx's existence single-handedly makes it so that any like special summon heavy deck basically turns into a coin toss, because you just run the risk of losing to that card single-handedly. Norden. Okay, Norden was pretty fun, but that card is definitely really broken. It should not come back. Even with Instant Fusion Limited, like, Norden would not be fair, because the last time Norden was broken, it wasn't because of Instant Fusion. The funny thing is that Maxx is actually a very contentious card. Like, it is probably the most controversial card in the game. Like, there are people who swear by it being at 3, and then there are people who swear by it being banned, like me. Nobody with sense agrees that it should be at 1. It's a 0 or 3 card. But, like, it's even more contentious because the card is actually at 3 in Japan. Like, in the international game, the card is banned. But in Japan and Korea, the card is at 3. And it single-handedly warps their entire metagame. Putting it at 2 would be no different than putting it at 3, like, realistically. I'm really good at the level. Lots of practice, dude. That's why Dogmatica is far more meta there. Like, Maxx ruins deck building in the OCG. If you play a combo deck and Maxx exists, first you're like, okay, well, I gotta play 3 Maxx because the card is legal. And then you've got to, so you gotta play 3 Maxx because the card is legal. And then you gotta play 3 Ash because it's an answer to Maxx. And then you gotta play Called of the Grave because it's an answer to Maxx. And you gotta play Cross-Eyed Designator because it's an answer to Maxx. And you've already filled out 25% of your deck. Like, why would anybody want that in the game when it doesn't even actually solve the problem of like special summoning becoming too powerful? Like, it doesn't actually curb any combo decks. It just makes it more RNG to play them. But like, combo decks are still successful in the OCG. You miss Lavalval Chain. I also miss Lavalval Chain. I really like that card, but that is like, Lavalval Chain is in the running for best Xyz monster. It's either Lavalval Chain or Shockmaster. says hello. Man, I'm so glad that card is gone. Wow, this might actually 46. I'm legitimately shocked. Requires not dying in Cortex. I mean, if it's a 46, I'll take it. If I miss any hit in here, though, it's done. It's Louis, yep. Thank God. I'm so glad you have masks in this fight.
And that's how it's done.
Hi. My cat's sitting next to me. Well, there it is. That's about 3 years late.